topics, gon' be hard to top us. Headed to the top, can't stop us. It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling.
Hello, Carolina Wrestling Podcast fans. This is your ring announcer, that guy, Trey Morgan. I'm here with my co-host, Chance Jenkins.
Yeah, great. Happy to be here, man. And we have a big one today. Great guest, great get. So once again, thank you for your time, sir. The legendary Ricky Morton, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. We have with us today the 2017 WWE Hall of Famer, 9-time NWA World Tag Team Champion, and one half of my opinion, the greatest tag team of all times. Ricky Morton, thank you for being here with us today, sir.
Well, Trey, thank you very much. I owe you any money for saying that. And
it's more like, do I owe you money for being here with us?
Guys, it's always a pleasure. This is my business. This is what I do. I eat, sleep, and drink wrestling. Look at me. I'm 68 years old. I still wrestle 3 or 4 nights a week. Last week I was on the road with the Insane Clown Posse, JCW.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that was every night. One night, the first night was in Las Vegas. The next night, Albuquerque. Next night, Tucson. Next night, Dallas.
So you're on the road on a regular basis.
And then I flew from there to do an afternoon show in Miami. But the time changed, and it's afternoon show. Yeah. And they're 3 hours behind us. Have no sleep. You understand me?
Yeah.
But no, guys, thank you for having me on the show. I love to talk about some wrestling.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So me personally, I've been following you and been a fan of yours since the 80s. I grew up watching you back in the Jim Crockett Productions.
How old are you, fella?
I'm 43, actually.
Oh, you really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What was you, 6 or 7 years old?
Yeah. I've been a fan all my life, so I want to personally thank you for helping me live my childhood out there.
You know what, man? Thank you very much. But, sometimes I sit and think, and we're just talking about that, and I'm going, when did I get old? I didn't know that. Is that Kobe Carino I see up there?
Oh, no, sir. That's actually Adam Davis out of South Carolina that's here with us today.
That tells you how blind I am.
It took me a little bit to look over there and see.
Yeah, I got you, man.
But back in the 80s, let's go back in the day when your music popped, because we were talking about with Hang Time last night, when your music popped and you got that pop from the crowd like the Undertaker does nowadays.
Well, buddy, it was something new in our wrestling business, and a lot of people don't even understand. And me talking to you today and talking to the people out here, you don't understand about territory wrestling. See, I'm a second-generation wrestler.
Yes, sir.
My son's a third-generation wrestler.
Yes, sir.
And my dad, riding down the road, my dad, when I was younger, he was telling me about this business. And now I do the same thing with Kerry, but territory wrestling. My daddy told me, and this is the truth back then, he says, when you go into a territory, you're never going to get over the booker or the guy that owns the place. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
They're always the main event. But they always got to have a semi-main event. He said, and that's tag team wrestling. So, but to get back through there to see the pop, you don't know how hard Robert and I worked to become and to get past the pressures of trying to get over in a territory. We were lucky. I tell a lot of guys about this in our business. You got to be at the right place at the right time, and I seek that. I look for that. To get that pop. But before you seen us on NWA, Robert and I, where we started out in Memphis, but see, we played second fiddle to the Fabulous Ones there.
Yeah.
And because they was, but see, now being at the right place about getting that pop, Bill Watts run Mid-South Wrestling out of
yes, sir.
Oklahoma, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas. You see, Bill Watts was the owner, and he got to retire. So he was looking for something new. See, they never seen small guys like Robert and I, or young guys working on top. And Bill Dundee from Memphis became the booker. But see, Bill Watts wouldn't let him wrestle, for he couldn't push himself. You see, that's what I was telling this whole thing about this pop. Mm-hmm. Well, see, dude, I think Abdullah the Butcher was the top babyface when we went into Louisiana. And the reason why is because Bill Watts just finished his angle up with him. So you got to turn him babyface for the next heel to come in to beat Abdullah to wrestle Bill Watts again. Wow. That's how it works in territories. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
But all of a sudden, next thing you know, here you are, two young guys, and we shot videos and stuff. It's pretty cool, some rock and roll music, and they never seen that before on TV. Matter of fact, I think Robert and I and Junkyard Dog was the only two that had music in Louisiana. I'm serious.
Oh, wow.
And Junkyard Dog is another one bite the dust. I never forget that. But see, when stuff like that happens, it's on you. You draw the younger people. And I get to NWA just here in a minute.
Yes, sir.
Because when they showed those videos, they showed them videos of Robert and I, and in territory, she had bicycle tapes. Do you understand what I mean by that? Okay. It's where you do you didn't have your cable TV. You did live studio wrestling. It's on a bicycle tape. This week it is showing New Orleans. And then the following week will show, but this bicycle tape will go to here. It'll show over here in Mississippi, and then it'll show up here in Arkansas. Then it had to go around. You see, it's bicycle tapes. See, when you do an angle, the first night's going to be in New Orleans.
Right.
So you got to remember the next Tuesday that when you're in a town, do you see what I'm saying? That's when they showed the TV before that.
Yes, sir.
So that's how that works. And then you see, I remember when they showed those videos where Robert and I coming to town, our first night in was in Lafayette, Louisiana. And we got out of the car, and there's people everywhere, buddy. I mean, I couldn't believe, I even told Robert, so what the hell else going on here? You see? But then people come to see us. As soon as I got out of the car, a lady with the microphone stuck it right in my face in the local news. She goes, tell me about the Rock and Roll Express. Tell the fans to tell you, and I was explaining to her. She says, no, you don't understand. People have been camped out here for a week to get tickets to see y'all. Oh, and wow. It was like that every time we went. It sold completely out. I talk about this a lot. They're hanging from the wrestlers, but people don't understand it when you're in territory wrestling and you pop that. Hold on for a minute, okay?
No worries.
That's just hold on. Here we go.
No worries.
This is my wife calling. Watch this.
That's an important call.
Let me show you how to tell your wife off when you're live on. Say, watch this.
Here we go.
Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, honey bunny, how you doing? Hey, I'm live on a podcast right now. Okay. I'll call you right back. What? I will call you right back when I get through this. Okay, thank you. Boy, I told her.
That's right. You told her.
Yes. Now, to get back to what I'm saying is, now that was Louisiana. We popped this territory. Now, every territory in the world is wondering what we're doing. What did they do to pop it? Well, first of all, you don't have Bulldog Bob Brown as your main event every night in Kansas. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's something new. Now, I been at the right place at the right time. Dusty Rhodes was taking the book over in North Carolina. You hear me? But Ric Flair is world champion, the greatest world champion ever. And I will explain that on another time.
I agree with
that. But Rick came into Louisiana because he wrestled, Magnum TA. That's Magnum TA was there, and And he come in, and Ric Flair seen us. And he went back and told Jimmy Crockett, not Dusty, told Jimmy Crockett. He said, guys, I went to Louisiana, and they got a team there called the Rock and Roll Express, and they just blow the roof off the building. He said every town sold out. Everywhere it goes, all you could hear is rock and roll and rock and roll. And now we're going to get back to your question that you asked me, because it wouldn't make sense if I didn't explain all this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
The same thing happened. Dusty Rhodes brought us in, showed them videos, but we're at Shelby, North Carolina, which was packed to the gills. No air conditioning, middle of July. Look here, hot son of a gun. Now, Dusty Rhodes put us on TV, and in the back, a lot of guys are smart right there. See, this is how we kayfabed in our days, and we still did. You had we're doing 2 hours of TV. You had your first one and the second one. Me and Robert are the first match on the second tape, okay? We're the first match on the second tape. And they had all the matches up under it. But nobody knew. We went out, Robert and I, against the Russians, Ivan Koloff and Barry Dorso, which is we go out, we do the whole hour, and the boys are in the back going, God, they need to go home. Our match is going to come up. We're going to come up. See, nobody knew. Not even the wrestlers knew that Robert and I were going to win the World Tag Team Championship that night. Nobody knew. I didn't know for about 10 minutes before we went to the ring, because we didn't rehearse. I know we was coming in big, and Dusty called me in the back, me and Robert in the back. He said, listen, I'm going to give you the ball. As long as you can run with it, you can have it. Okay? Okay, now, let's get back to it. Imagine this. Baby doll talks about it all the time, because she was that we're supposed to be on. We got to go, but they're not. The matches wasn't even. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Our business was sacred. It was kayfabed. That's the reason you sold out everywhere you went, because you didn't know what to expect. Robert and I won the World Tag Team titles that night in Shelby, but you didn't have your internet. You didn't have this right here.
Right.
We didn't start the territory to 2 weeks later because of the bicycle tape.
Oh.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Oh, all right. Oh, wow. Now, from the least thing that you ever could expect, these two young guys come in and we beat, and this is when they have the big conflict with Russia anyway. This is how smart Dusty Rhodes is. The two all-American young kids go against the Russians. And I got to say this, and I tell promoters this, you have to get heat on people. But see, heat don't mean hit. It means you got to get them over. Yeah. And before Robert and I come in, the Russians beat everybody in the territory, even beat Dusty and Magnum. Do you see what I'm saying?
And that was a big
they had
thing.
And when Robert and I beat them, it popped not only that, because in 2 weeks later it showed on TBS.
Wow.
Okay. Robert and I were instantly over around the world. Okay. Now the pops, dude. You see, you look at your rock bands and you look at your rock stuff and you look at all this stuff. And I'm not just bragging on myself, but it took everybody. Robert and I were instantly rock stars. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And when you draw girls, you draw guys. Yeah. And when you little girls got to bring their families, their mamas and their daddies. You see what I'm saying?
It's a meteoric rise at that point.
I just did a show in Charlotte for AEW.
Oh, wow.
And when they called me, they asked me, we're going to be in Charlotte at the Bojangles Arena, which is the old Coliseum that we used to wrestle at there. And I told them, I said, yes, I would love to come. I haven't been back in that building since 1987.
Oh, wow.
Because I wouldn't let anybody book me there because I'd never been in that building when it wasn't sold out.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's the Greensboro Coliseum too.
Wow.
That's
So,
amazing.
but understand the pop, bruh. And I mean, we had to fight for our life most of the time just trying to get to the rink. That's where the security they started doing that. It's hard to explain to you, and I'm not sitting here talking to the people bragging about ourselves. And oh, it took everybody to get us over, but brother, we were over, and we were over. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because
And-
when I was a kid, like Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson, me and my little brother, we'd sit there and watch wrestling. We would fight like, I'm Ricky Morton. No, I'm gonna be Ricky Morton. No, I'm not gonna be Robert Gibson.
Now think about this. This is the same thing we did in Louisiana. See, then it was Barry Dorso, which is Crusher Khrushchev.
Yeah.
But him and Nikolai Volkov were in Louisiana when we first went in, and they got us over. And then, but see, guess who followed them into the territory? Followed us, the Midnight Express.
Oh yeah.
Now it's Jimmy Cornette. He's way, the Expresses. I think in my mind, the rival between the Midnight Express and the Rock and Roll Express, it can never be another.
Absolutely not.
And nobody could ever match to it. Now since, all our TV is nowadays is theatrical, and guys they can't even have a match. Can't even go out and talk unless they go over it. Look at dude, we never talked. I never seen them in the dressing room.
Yeah.
But guys don't understand this. We kayfabed. You get caught talking to a heel, you get your ass fired. Now, 99% of the time, we went to the ring, and Tommy Young would say, or the referee would go, so babyface is over. Or he'd say heel's over. And that was it. We created all of that magic in the ring.
All for listening to the fans.
Okay. One of the greatest matches, you see, and then the Midnight Express got us ready for the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
And the Four Horsemen got me ready for Ric Flair. Do you see? That's the reason we sold out for you the whole times we were there. But then, when the corporate companies come in
Yeah.
with people running the business is about as much business as me flying the space shuttle.
Yeah.
You understand? It really killed it real bad. It's all right, fella. We got some music in the background. Nobody gives a shit. Excuse my language.
No worries.
fine.
But
So you
I'm explaining to
Yes.
you guys about how our business works.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's not like it is today. It's nothing like today.
Yeah.
Go back and watch Starrcade 86 when Robert and I wrestled Ole and Arn Anderson,
Yeah.
Greensboro Coliseum. Even the finish was created. It's in a cage. And even the finish was created in the ring. I gave Robert a hot tag, and Ole was calling the finish. He did something to me, and I'm over here, and he went to slam me, and he told Robert to drop kick me in the back. And I covered him 1, 2, 3. After bled, me selling, fighting. You see, buddy, when I'm working, if I can make that guy on the front row believe what's happening to me is really real. Not selling like I'm a fish out of water.
Right.
Not selling like something goofy, but selling like it was real.
Make it look
You know,
like you're
you
in a
hit me in
fight.
the stomach, and I would sell the stomach. All right? I didn't grab my ear. And then I'd go back to selling it. You see, I kept myself with the heels back in, kept you alive. Throw a couple punches, but then I'd go back selling my stomach again, where they just keep me in the stomach maybe 2 or 3 minutes before that. Go ahead. You got a question, fella?
I
That's
was
a
gonna-
long answer. What?
No
it's
worries. We
great.
love that.
It's great.
So
Thank you.
You're speaking about how pro wrestling in general has kind of evolved throughout the years, and obviously, when you hear about like your career, it's kind of stapled in that era of like you were part of the Mount Rushmore of tag team wrestling, pretty much. Like a lot of people look back and think of the NWA, the Koloffs and stuff, but you have been in wrestling this entire time. You know, you like you said earlier, you're still wrestling several times.
Dude,
a
I've
week.
been in the business for 50 years.
Yeah, and so getting prepared for this interview, I was on Cage Match just looking at every company like you've wrestled under, just trying to
Yes.
kind of get a sense of the size of it, the scope of it. And you really have been at the top of stuff or just doing stuff in the world for this whole time. So my question is for you, I guess, like, how do you continue to evolve and change with stuff? Because you said that, like, you know, wrestling is not the way it used to be back in the day, but there's clips of you hitting Canadian destroyers a few years ago. It's like,
I still do.
Yeah, so you're still like rolling with it.
No, but okay, and let me think here for a minute how to answer that for you. And it's because, listen, the wrestling business is all I know. I still love the business. And I think there's going to come a time when the big companies is going to call me not to wrestle, but to teach these people how to be tag. You ever watch the tag teams on? It's they start out, they do their stuff. He tags his partner, he does his stuff.
Yeah.
They tag the heel, he does his stuff. They tag the other heel, he does his stuff.
Everybody gets to get their stuff.
Everybody's getting their shit in
Yep.
instead of telling a story.
Yeah.
See, I'm a storyteller. If you guys get a chance, watch the episodes of JCW coming up, Juggalo Championship Wrestling. And this is the first time I've done this. I was there, and their episodes are coming up. Mine, I tell a story for the whole show, for 3 shows.
Oh wow.
Me and Kerry's a heel. I'm a baby face. Me and Kerry are partners. He cheats. I get mad at him. I slap him in front of all the people. Or we come back for a wrestling match. All right? And this is what nobody understands. And I'm going to give it away right here on TV. And you guys ought to feel lucky because sometimes I feel bad because I still kayfabe.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
I worked my ass off for 3 days in a row to tell a story. And that story was to clothesline Kerry over the top rope on the 3rd night. Now, when you watch this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Watch what we did. All right?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
Yeah, and I don't know if you met Kerry or not.
Not yet.
He's unbelievable, you see, because the reason and I've heard guys say this before. Well, he's Ricky Morton's son. Well, no. To be my son, you got to work 3 times as hard because people expect stuff of you.
That's right.
Yes,
But
sir.
see, I started going to the wrestling when I was a kid with my dad. My dad pulled the wrestling ring and refereed y'all guys in territories for Nick Goulas. I watched my dad get his dream job as territories built in Memphis opened up, and Jerry Jarrett gave my dad the top referee spot. That was my daddy's dream. He didn't have to pull the ring no more. He didn't have to do this. And then I broke into which I started going with my dad when I was little. So when the time I started in the business, I already knew. And see, that's like Kerry. Go on my internet, but he's been with me ever since he's this big.
Yeah.
I mean, when he was 8 years old, he was wrestling Jason Kincaid and Chase Owens, like right now before the show started. He's in the ring doing this shit. You see, he worked harder. And it does. Smart kid. But see, one thing that I wasn't able to get, and I'm not ashamed. Everybody out here, I want you to look at me. My wife taught me how to read. Do you understand that?
Oh, wow.
I had to work when I was a kid. I graduated from high school, but I worked on farms, and I had to go out of town with my daddy. You know, I played football. My dad let me play football for a while, but then I had to go back on the road with him. I had to go back to working. I have, my oldest son, Jonathan, he passed away in May of last year. Yes, but I have 8 kids, and I made sure all of them got an education.
Yes, sir.
Kerry just, he graduated from college. He was a cheerleader at King College in Bristol, Tennessee. They won the national championship
Oh wow,
That's
in
incredibly
Sheridan.
impressive.
Now, look here, I have a WWE Hall of Fame ring.
that's right.
Yes,
Have
sir.
you ever seen a national championship ring?
No,
sir.
I have not.
Hey, he don't even wear it. It's that big around, diamonds, rubies.
Oh, wow.
It's
It's probably-
unbelievable, huh?
It's probably at least twice the size of that thing, huh?
That's why he don't wear it.
Yeah.
And he can't get it sized because it's so thick under here.
Wow.
But this right here, a lot of things happened to me in my life. Winning the world, because we were world tag team champions, not Mid-Atlantic champions. And back then, it was truly the world champions, like Ric Flair. When we
Right.
won them, a lot of times we went to Portland to that territory, Kansas City territory, Texas for the Von Erichs territory, all up and down through there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But when they inducted Robert and I into the WWE Hall of Fame, when I walked into a room, Vince McMahon put this ring on my finger. He put it on my finger.
Oh, wow. That's the
And he
story.
told me, he says, we cannot have a legit Hall of Fame unless the Rock and Roll Express was in it. Bam.
And I absolutely agree, sir.
What's that? And, you know, we went there for WWF to do a few shows, but we was just lost in the shuffle.
Yeah. I was about to say, I remember because
We
y'all
was just
came
lost
in.
in the shuffle.
You came in
You know,
one
I
time
think-
as a Smoky Mountain.
I
tag team
think Jimmy
champions.
Cornette got us a
Yeah.
little job there,
Yeah.
and it didn't. But they,
But that's really the only match that I remember seeing you in. So WWE
Yes.
Hall of Famer that's only had like
You-
one match.
we
that
did
I
Survivor
remember in
Series and
WWE.
WrestleMania. WrestleMania was just in a battle royal or something, but we was just lost in the shuffle. See, and that's what's wrong with our business these days. You have these writers, you have these people that think they know everything about our business, but none of them tells a true story.
Yeah.
You ever stop to watch? None of them tells a true story. I know they got he's got this and he says this and he says this. Fuck that. If you're gonna do it right. Do it right. Don't just sit there and have I can't. And I'll be wrestling tonight, but watch me. I don't go over nothing in the back. Hell, I can't remember. But I have CTE.
Yeah.
And I can't remember shit, but I can call it and I can listen to the people
Right.
and call you a match. And do you know Randy Savage
Yes, sir.
and myself were the first ones to ever break a table? Tell me, baby. Tell me where I came from. Now look at this. Every night this is happening.
sir.
This is stuff. The scars on my head, they're not there for decoration. This is what fed families. This is what fed my family. The boys depended on me to sell these buildings out before they could pay their house notes. What I hear now, guys, they don't just make money. They make generation money. They make money for their great-great-grandkids. That's how much they make these days. What do you think I'm still here for? My biggest year in the wrestling business was in NWA in 1986. I made $125,000. Do you hear me? Wow. Now, I didn't have no travel agency coming to get me, or my hotel room was waiting. It all come out of our pockets. And then when Jimmy Crockett bought the airplanes, we got to fly on the airplanes, but all that money come out of your paycheck too. Do you see
That
what I'm
wasn't a
saying?
Free bill. there.
Oh, no. And these guys right here, I'm just telling you, some of these guys make more in 1 year than I made in 50 years. So don't talk bad about it. You don't know. I paid and I ain't saying just me, buddy, I paid the path for these guys right here. And that's what I'm looking for. And I don't want nobody to give me shit. I want a job. Working with these kids, teaching them about our business and making them understand it. Now, you guys big wrestling fans?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
You big wrestling fans, are you really?
Yes, sir.
Who's Killer Carl Cox?
I couldn't tell you.
I know the name. But
Okay, you see? Now, the wrestlers these days, okay, you find a football fan. They know who Johnny Unitas is.
Right.
They knew who Bart Starr is. They know the history of professional wrestling, and damn, the football players damn sure know who they are.
Yeah.
But I can have a seminar and ask some of the people about names. They don't have a clue what I'm talking about.
Sure.
You don't know the history of our business.
Right.
Okay, that's what really makes my butt want to dip red man. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
So, I have a question before we finish up here.
Yeah.
Back in Tennessee a while back, let me question this. So you have somebody that you saved their life back in Tennessee.
About what?
A man named New Jack.
I saved his life.
Yeah, like from what I've heard, the story that was told to me by Hang Time is that it was Rock and Roll Express versus the Gangsters
Yes.
back in Tennessee, and you were selling, doing
Well,
what you're
okay,
supposed to do.
I know where you're going with this right
Yeah,
here.
but
Okay, I know where you're going with this.
yes, sir.
And listen to me. First of all, I'll explain to you who I am. I don't care who you are. Don't care what you do. I love you. Always be yourself, no matter who you are. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? No matter who you are, just be yourself, and everybody, I love you.
Yes, sir.
Early 90s, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. And God bless me. People, please understand what I'm saying. It was a lot of racial stuff going on.
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah,
New Jack, him and Mustafa, they Rodney Kinged me on TV, and then they tired and feathered me on
wow.
TV. That shit had never been done before. And this was up in East Tennessee, Smoky Mountain. And I used to tell New Jack, buddy, listen, don't go that far,
Right.
okay? But talking to New Jack's like talking that wall right there. He don't give a shit. It's been certain situations where I had to turn on the crowd. You know, I had to help him fight.
right.
You hear me? But I did that a lot of times. But I done it when people didn't know. With the Midnight Express, hell, buddy, we wrestled them. The fans come in the ring every night. Every night. I watched Jimmy Cornette get his ass whipped so many times that he learned to fight. Well, learned to at least defend himself. Do you hear me? But getting back to New Jack,
Yeah,
it's crazy. You see, and I don't know how to go in the situation without being forward or being on one side. It's not like that. You know, I just I was wrestling him, and he's in a big fight, and I just try to tell him, I'm come out of that ring, and I'm chewing him out, and he's telling me they called him the N-word,
yeah,
and my shoulders just popped. I said, New Jack, dude, we're not in Philadelphia, we're not in New York City, we're in Morristown, Tennessee.
Right.
You understand me? We're in Morristown, Tennessee. We're up in Irwin, Tennessee. You know, I don't know, do history on Irwin, Tennessee. They hung an elephant there because it killed somebody in a parade. Not just went out and shot it. They put a rope up on a crane and hung this son of a bitch. They killed it.
Crazy.
Wow.
So listen, they said the N-word, and boy, we get in the back. Well, I said, what is he supposed to say to you, New Jack, Mr. Black Man? Do you understand? Please, people out there, if you listen to me, I love you.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to explain a situation that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And then all that was over. New Jack come to me, and he says, I've never been smartened up so much in our business. because he had to leave East Tennessee. He went to ECW.
Right.
Because they ran his ass off down there, bro. They had, the law after him, and not just because of those situations. But I went to, he come and grabbed me. He says, for every wrestler in this business, they need to have an education from you when something happens. Because I gave him the greatest education of his life. And he said, by God, I love you. It's one thing, it's even like when I do a seminar. I would tell people things. I said, you're not even going to understand what the hell I'm talking. And I just said this a while ago, like New Jack, I get better off talking to that wall.
Right.
But one day you're going to go, holy shit, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
See, I can't teach you to work. There ain't a guy in this world can teach you to work. Did you know that? I can give you the tools to get started, but you have to teach yourself.
Right.
And the best way to do that is working with guys that are better than you. And that's what I was saying earlier about Kerry James. When he's 8 years old, he's in the ring with him, but he's great. And I wanted to apologize to the people. He's supposed to be here tonight. But you see, he's under contract. He has to go where they send him to.
Oh, sure.
And it's no or maybe, or let me call and see. No, his ass got to go.
Yeah.
That's the way it is in our business. Some got to win and some got to lose. Our business, and I'm going to tell you a story. I'll tell you something. I'm going to finish up here. I don't mind saying this. This business is not about me. This business is not about you. It's not about nothing. It's about ratings on TV the way it is now. You see, I was telling you earlier, guys get in the ring. And I love our business, but I hate where it's going. I mean, these guys taking those big bumps off the scaffolds into the rings and doing that. And I know a long time ago I lost one of my best friends, Owen Hart.
Yeah.
But something else has got to happen too. You hear me? Why don't we go back to our art, to when it's so cool. And I don't want to hear the people chanting no shit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to see you chop me so hard that where the people go, woo, and it's in every match.
Yeah.
All right. And I tell you out there, I'm an old man. You can whoop my ass. You chop me, I'm going to slap piss out of you. I'm serious. You chop me, I'm going to slap you.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, and they're going to look at me, and I'm going to say, yeah, shit hurts, son. Okay? I have an art. I wrestle. End of question. What else?
No, I mean the only reason I really brought that story up is just to let people know how great of a person that you are. Like you're willing to help anybody in the wrestling business. It doesn't matter.
I would do that anybody. A guy not long ago, Rick Savage. I don't know who he is. He got a lot of heat for powerbombing a guy a bunch of times on his head. Yeah. But you see, he got it. I went to bat for him too. But see, that was called. Mm-hmm. You hear what I'm saying? It's not his fault.
That's his
It was
plan.
the guy taking the damn thing's fault. So don't put the heat on Rick Savage about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not Rick Savage. I'm talking about it's another guy. Bruiser. I forgot the guy's name. I'm sorry. I got CTE. But in fact, what's my name? No.
I do remember the clip you were talking about. That it's been doing the circulations of the multiple power bombs, and everyone
they
had
was
an
eating
opinion.
his ass up on the on social media. No, shut up, leave this guy alone.
Yeah,
that's what I told him to go to an interview and tell them people. Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, so you're talking about navigating some of these things, like when something goes wrong with the crowd, and all of a sudden now you're the babyface, and the crowd's going after the heel, but you got to protect him, but you also have to kind of protect your character. Like, I feel like navigating that in the wrestling scape as it is today is already hard, but you're in a time period where kayfabe was everything. So, like,
well, yeah, buddy, and listen to me. The marks think they know everything, but let me tell you about it. Where Ricky Morton gets in that ring, even though I'm 68 years old, and half the people don't come to the matches to watch me wrestle. They come to see if I'm still alive. I can still, bro, tear a house down, but to navigate what we're doing, it's a lost art that's missed. And I hope I answer your question right. I don't know. I'm like a squirrel. I'm jumping from limb to limb, but it's because of me paying my dues. And remember, I told you guys earlier, you know, my days were back in the days where you made them believe, and you could see my head. I told you all ago that's not because I wanted to impress somebody. If you want to impress me, the apple shut a fruit salad. Now that would impress me. But when it comes to my wrestling business, it's no joke, it's no game. It's no joke and it's no game. When I'm on a show and I see somebody doing something like that, I said, what are you doing that for? You hear me? I was at a show not long ago, first match, I seen a guy over there doing something. I said, what are you doing that for? I said, what match you on? He says, first. I said, you ain't doing that. Oh, yes, I am. That's what I do. I went and got the promoter. I says, if he does that, I'm not getting in the ring. Well, you know, I says, on the first match, and the promoter didn't know he was doing it. He was just going to do it. You know what I'm saying? To impress his fucking girlfriend. Kiss my ass. You hear me? It's not a joke, not a game to me.
Right.
You don't know. Not unless it's there to help the angle out or to draw money. It don't need to be done.
Yes, sir.
Hey guys, thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
Ricky,
much.
thank you for being here. We
You
appreciate
can edit
you.
that a little bit, can't you?
Oh,
Okay, good.
we could use a lot of this, though. We appreciate you coming in and talking to us before your match tonight. Also, good luck in your match tonight. You know, we're very excited. I'm very excited to see you in the ring.
Good luck to me.
Yes.
Good luck to them. I'm a loaded pistol, baby. No, I'm just kidding.
But no, Ricky, thank you for being here on the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. It was an honor for us to have you on here
Thank
with
you,
us.
buddy. It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you being here for another episode of Carolina Wrestling Podcast with the 2017 WWE Hall of Famer and one half of the greatest tag team of all times, Ricky
Thank
Morton.
you very much.
Thank
In our day, we were the best tag team in the world.
And,
Yes, sir.
and in my opinion, you're still the greatest
Well,
tag
thank
team of
you.
all time.
Thank you, buddy.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate that.
Carolina Wrestling Podcast fans, thank you for being here. We'll catch you on the next show. Thank you all for seeing. Have a great evening.
Tune in when they lock up. Turn the lights on. Time to watch us. With these topics, gon' be hard to top us. Headed to the top, can't stop us. It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. It's that guy, Trey Morgan, and Freddie Attack. You can't ignore him. And Chance Jenkins, no chance for boredom. Get the table, the mics, now bring the boards in. We talking next level, that mean the best ever. Pro wrestling, it don't get no better. We talking 2-6 Wrestling Academy, and the rest of the scene around here that's grown radically around the Carolinas. Ain't hard to find us. New episode drops, watch twice and rewind it. Go and share it with your friends. Just remind them, and every time you see us, it's perfect time. What you looking for? If it's wrestling, we got it. No cap. Autographs in Carolina, what you looking for? If it's wrestling, we got it. No cap. Autographs in Carolina. Tune in when they lock up. Turn the lights on. Time to watch us. With these topics, gon' be hard to top us. Headed to the top, can't stop us. It's the Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina Wrestling Podcast. Carolina